Hey guys, hello everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Hello, Solo Aquarius. Hey, Tall Glass. Hey, Nosy Rosie. Hello, Kimberly Black. Hey, Miss HLS. Hello, Love Nona Creation. Thressy. Hello, Danny. Hello, Miss Green Eyes. Hey, Bree. Hey, Moans 820. Hey, Queen E. Hey, T Girl again. Hey, Coco. Hey, Angie. Hey, Rob. Hey, Kimmy K. Hey, Nakinya. Hey, Black Beauty. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Auntie D with the T. Hey, Miss Marsha Owens. Hey, baby. Joff7. Okay. Hello, everybody. I just have to go ahead and do this blanket. Hello. All right. Guys, I got a lot to read today, and I want to get started. I'm going to give you a little bit background of what I'm going to talk about today. There's some things going on in Fulton County, Metro Atlanta. I'm going to say Metro Atlanta because we got some stuff in Cobb County as well. I'm going to start off with the motion that was filed by the state in the YSL case. It looks like the state is trying to have some restriction on what can be viewed in the YSL case. There looks like some sort of ban, not a total ban, but some, restriction of what could be shown in the recording. There's some limitation in the recording for the YSL trial. So I'm going to pop up and present this to you guys. Hold on a second. Let me share my screen. All right, this is the state's motion. Can you guys see that? Probably not, but that's okay. Hope you guys can see it better right here. All right, I'm not gonna prolong it too long. I'm gonna go ahead and read this for you guys. My glasses are jacked up, so I'm going to wipe it so you guys can see. Hello, everybody. All right, you guys know that Fani Willis has indicted a couple of high-profile cases, and both of them are in. Well, not both. Well, one is at trial right now, and the other one is doing a lot of pre-trial motions and things like that. Now, the first motion I'm going to read to you about is with the YSL. The state has just submitted a motion for the limitation of recording, right? Basically, they want the media to have some limitation on what they can show as far as witnesses and things like that. So I'm going to read to you guys what this motion says. Okay, it says State of Georgia versus Jeffrey Williams, defendant, right? And it says state's motion for limitation of recording. Come now, the state of Georgia, by and through its counsel, Fani T. Willis, district attorney of the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, and the undersigned chief deputy district attorney, and hereby moves that this honorable court moves this honorable court for an order pursuant to Georgia Youth Super CT 22 Rule 22 and OCGA 15-1-10-1. .1. Placing limitation on the media's ability to video record testifying witnesses during the precedence of the trial of this case. In support of this motion, the state shows the following. Background. Media organizations have requested and received permission to record portion of this trial. The case has been heavily publicized since its inception. Thousands of articles have been published on this case, both in local news outlets and on the national international stage. At least one documentary series on the case is underway. Although press coverage has increased since the start of the evidential portion of this trial, a heightened media presence has surrounded these proceedings all along. On December 5th, 2023, live footage of the trial testimony of a forensic analyst for the state was broadcast by the media. As this witness testified, menacing commentary appeared in the live chat for the broadcast. See you later, witness name. YSL gonna pop by later. Exhibit A. The witness also got an ominous text to the witness' personal cell phone from an unfamiliar number asking, "How about your new job?" Exhibit B. In viewing these troubling interactions, law enforcement was dispatched to monitor this witness' residence. This is not the first time something like this has happened in this case. In December 2022, an assistant district attorney who testified for the state at a video recording pretrial motion hearing fell victim on online doxing. This witness's personal cell phone number was leaked to the uncharted wild of the internet, and the threatening communication the witness thereafter received caused genuine fear for self and family. Here, too, law enforcement resources was dedicated to ensuring the safety and security of this witness. On November 2023, a law enforcement witness testifying for the state at a pretrial motion hearing was also doxed. The witness' purported home address was disseminated via comment in the live chat for the broadcast. See Exhibit C. The commentary also included threatening emojis, indicating an intent to harm law enforcement. Exhibit D. Although the address turned out not to belong to this witness, law enforcement resources were nevertheless devoted to ensuring the safety and security of the persons who did reside at this location. November 29th, 2023, the state called as its first witness a detective with the Atlanta Police Department. After this witness' video recorded testimony was published, additionally, image of the witness' face along with the witness' full name were posted on news and other media outlets. Authorities determined these and related posting to be threatening and intimidating toward this witness. Exhibit E. This witness and other law enforcement witnesses with the Atlanta Police Department have expressed concern for their personal safety stemming from the broadcasting of their images and video recording testimony in this trial. ID. All exhibits, see the number one here says, all exhibit associated with This motion had been separately filed under seal to protect the personal information of witnesses. Discussion. There is no constitutional or statutory rights to videotape trial. Estes vs. Texas, 381 U.S. Then it's a bunch of numbers and all that. No constitutional provision guarantees a right to televised trials. The public trial guaranteed of the Sixth Amendment, which reflect a concept fundamental to the administration of justice in this country, certainly does not require that television be admitted to the courtroom. Cite omitted. This is true both federally and as a matter of Georgia law. In federal court, neither video nor audio recording is permitted. Federal Rule Criminal Procedure 53. This does not prevent the press from reporting to the public on federal cases. Rule 22 provides a mechanism whereby Georgia trial court may give the press permission to record trials. Rule 22 says that open courtrooms are an indispensable element of an effective and respected judicial system. However, what Rule 22 does not say is that videotape and or live streaming trial are essential. Further, Rule 22 specifically states that allowing open courts during trial must be done while protecting the legal rights of the participants in the proceeding and ensuring appropriate security and decorum. Witnesses' fear for their physical safety and that of their families is only logical given the subject matter and the circumstances surrounding this trial. This court should take appropriate action before rather than after someone gets hurt. Section G of this Rule 22 governs the recording of court proceeding in Georgia and read as stated below. G. Denial or limitation of recording. A properly submitted request for recording should generally be approved, but a judge may deny or limit the request as provided in this paragraph. A judge's decision on request or on an objection to request is reviewable as provided by law. And number 2 says, whether the media have camera running during trial is a separate from the issue whether the courtroom is open to the public. The state does not wish to restrict the public's right to access to the courtroom. All right, number one, you guys ready? Number 1, denial of recording. A judge may, I gotta move this up for y'all. Sorry about that. A judge may deny a request for recording only after making specific findings on the record that there is a substantial likelihood of harm arising from one or more of the following factors. The harm outweighs the benefit of recording to the public, and that the judge has considered more narrow restriction on recording than a complete denial of the request. A, the nature of particular proceeding at issues. This is a high-profile case involving a criminal street gang with a large social media following. B, the consent or objection of the party's witness or alleged victim whose testimony will be present in the proceeding. Victim and witnesses have expressed concern for their safety and that their families should they choose to testify. The state, which is one of the parties, is concerned that the video recording of witnesses and victims' faces may endanger their individual safety. C. Whether the proposed recording will promote increased public access to the courts and openness of judicial proceeding. If victims and witnesses are intimidated from testifying, the judicial proceeding are inherently compromised. In order to have a proper trial, witnesses must be willing and able to testify truthfully and without fear or favor. D. The impact upon the integrity and dignity of the court. The court has a duty to ensure the safety and security of all participants in this proceeding. C. The impact upon administration of the court. Here, the state concerns about victims and witnesses' identity are fully consistent with the proper administration of the court. F. The impact upon process and the truth-finding function of the judicial proceeding. The state is concerned about the impact upon due process and the truth-finding function of the judicial proceeding. Witnesses may be afraid to testify and provide full information if they are aware they are being video recorded and that their personal safety could be jeopardized as a result of their testimony. G. Whether the proposed recording would contribute to the enhancement of or distract from the ends of justice. Here, live streaming video recording of this trial has already distracted from the end of justice by facilitating doxing and intimidation of witnesses. H. Any special circumstances of the parties, witnesses, alleged victim, and other participants, such as the need to protect children or factor involving the safety of participant in the judicial proceeding. Here, the identities of the victims and witnesses has garnered unusual interest from the defendant's support on social media. And any other factor affecting the administration of justice or which the court may determine to be important under the circumstances of the case. 2. Limitation of recording. Upon his or her own motion or upon the request of the parties, witness or alleged victim, a judge may allow recording as requested or may only after making specific finding of the recorded based on the factors in the preceding paragraph. Impose the least restrictive possible limitation, such as an order that no recording may be made of a particular criminal defendant, civil party, witness, alleged victim, law enforcement officers, or any other person, or that such person's identity must be effectively obscured in any image or video recording, and or that only audio recording may be of such person. The escalated online menace. Y'all ready? Escalated online menace. The escalated online menace may, by witnesses testifying in this trial, is undeniable. Whether or to what extent the threats are credible is not something on which this court can afford to gamble. To be clear, the state does not at this time represent that any members of the media or that even any of the defendants wish or intend any harms to witnesses or have acted in such a way as demonstrated such wishes or intention. But it is impossible to ignore the fact that at least one of the messages referenced above purported to be from YSL, the enterprise gang in which such even defendant is allegedly affiliated. Nor can the fact that the defendant in this case are of international renown, particularly defendant Jeffrey William, aka Young Thug, be ignored. Hold on, let me get it up. He and other similarly situated in this matter are celebrities whose devoted fans and supporters do not need explicit instruction to carry out harassment and intimidating tactics. Among those that proceeds as thwarting or harming their hero. Oh Lord. Such zealotry exists now more than ever in the form of a relatively new phenomenon. The malicious crowdsourcing social media menace individual actors. Oh Lord, y'all been doing y'all been messing. Let me shut up. Okay. The maliciously crowdsourcing social media menace individual actor decided of their own volitions to scare or threaten in the name, but not necessarily at the explicit command of their idols. All right. The internet, particularly the comments section of video live streaming and posts thereon, is the new Wild West. In a moment, a motivated stranger on the internet can easily have a SWAT team at your doorstep. The menace of all person. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on, I lost my spot. Okay, let me go back. In a moment, a motivated stranger on the internet can easily have a SWAT team at your doorstep. Y'all, a SWAT team. A SWAT team. And disseminated all your personal information, including home address and personal telephone number, into the hand of those who wish to harm or who can readily inflict such harm. Moreover, online threat intimidate witnesses whether they are credible or not. The intent behind these threats is clear: to dissuade witnesses from testifying truthfully and testifying at all. This is by, I'm sorry, let me go back. Testifying at all. This is not coincidence. This is by design. It really is just the simple. It's really just that simple. The state's attorney and law enforcement officer are one thing. It could be argued that this type of risk that they signed up for when they chose this vocation. But lay witnesses, ordinary people uprooted from their lives by way of subpoena, and for many by the defendant's crimes against them, did not sign up for this and are validly fearful. There is already a massive spotlight on this trial, discouraging witnesses from coming forward. Adding to that, the potential for lay witnesses compelled to testify about some of the most traumatic and painful experiences of their lives to be threatened and intimidated during, after, as a direct result of their testimony is unconscionable. We ask witnesses to come forward and testify bravely and truthfully. The witnesses in this trial should be able to testify without fear. This court has the opportunity and the state respectively submit the duty to take steps to protect them. The trial court's decision as a Rule 22 limitation is reviewed under an abuse of discretion standard. See Multimedia Vamas versus State, and some case laws on that. The state has supplied and will supplement at a hearing of this matter a sufficient factual basis for the limitation request herein. See Morris Communication LLC versus Griffin. There's a case law behind that one too. And the court properly precluded news media access of video evidence. Okay. And it gave that case law. Got a couple more case law to give. Let me just move up. A couple of case law here, and then let's see where we're going to start. Lack of factual basis in the court to support trials court denial of electronic or photographic coverage. And give another case law here and says trial court erred in excluding camera without sufficient factual basis in record for doing so. Okay. Then the next one, substantial law enforcement resources have already been and continue to be devoted to ensuring the safety and security of certain vulnerable witnesses, as discussed above. But this is just damage control, not a solution. Preventative measures are necessary. The state is asking merely that temporary, pragmatic, and legal authority steps to be taken to preserve the integrity and the security of this trial, including the safety and security of all its participants. The state, even with all the resources at its disposal, cannot protect the entire phone book. This is particularly obvious in the case of the witnesses who testified on December 5th, 2023. The law enforcement witness who testified at pretrial hearing on November 2023. They both had somewhat common names. In the case of the November 2023 witness, this is likely what led to an incorrect address being posted in a misguided doxing attempt. This is now a known consequence of live streaming and disseminating video recording from this trial. Just the same as if the online threat had released a correct address for the witness, or incorrect address being released similarly places people in danger. Random, innocent people totally unconnected to this trial. It has been said that it is easier to wear slippers than to carpet the entire world. What does that got to do with it? Slippers instead of, oh Lord, I don't know what that means. The same principle apply here. If something were to happen to any witness, the detriment chilling effect on the testimony of all other witnesses, lay or law enforcement, would be severe. But this can be prevented, and Rule 22 explicitly allows exactly what the state is asking for. The state requests the state's requests are not intended to obscure the substance of these proceedings, but rather to design to allow the substance of this trial to materialize independent, the uninfluenced by the external pressure, the likes of which the unprecedented in this case and jurisdiction requests. Based on the above, let me move this up. Hold on. Based on the above, the state requests that the court make on the record finding as required under Rule 22G regarding whether there is a substantial likelihood of harm arising from one or more of the identifying factors, whether the harm outweighs the benefit of recording to the public, and whether the court has considered more narrow restriction on recording than complete denial of the media's request. Thereafter, to enter an order establishing the following. 1. Henceforth, the only recording device permitted in the courtroom by members of the media must be audio only. 2, that the court no longer permit the media to record or publish any visual image of the witnesses. And the state further requests 3, the court prohibit the media from publishing the full name of the victims and witnesses testifying in the case under their testimony is complete, until the testimony is complete. Prior to that, the media may refer to these victims and witnesses by their first name and last initial only. And in the case of law enforcement, referring to their rank and or number. To be clear, the state is not requesting an outline denial of recording in this trial. Instead, each of the state requests is explicitly referred to Rule 22G2 as an example of at least restrictive possible limitation on recording short of denial. And conclusion. For the above listed reason, the state respectively requests that this honorable court convey a hearing to make the appropriate factual finding under Rule 22 and grant the state's request as described above, respectively submitted the 19th day of January 2024. All right, that is what they're requesting. That is what they're requesting. Hey, Saucy. Yeah, they did. They did. They surely did, Saucy. They surely did. Yep. Well, what do you guys think of that? They want the audio only. Bama boy, you don't have to sit up in here. You don't have to be here if you have a problem with me reading it. You ain't got to come in here. You can go, bow, bye-bye. You ain't got to be here. Hey, Shannon. So, yeah, what do you think? One of Fani gang members' side piece must be on the witness list. She wants to keep him safe. P-Cash, I don't think judge will allow state motion unless it has been a real threat. P-Cash, you know what? I think you might be right. I'm just thinking about the guys. Have you guys seen the messages that was left? Anybody, did y'all see any threats? They really felt like that they would have said this in the beginning. There has been a real not that I've known. The only thing I've heard people saying like free trial. I mean free thug. Mistrial. That's one of the things I've heard. I haven't heard anybody threaten anybody. But you guys been watching the live stream. Where Tall Glass? Tall Glass, were you in the live stream? Was I know you be in the live streams. Have you heard anybody making threats? Have you seen, not heard, but seen anybody making threats? No, you haven't, right? Okay. Because I don't get an opportunity to be on those live streams, so I don't know. R. Bruce said no. There has been many. Yeah, there are many live streams, but they're saying because this is a gang case, a RICO gang case, that they feel that the people is being threatened or something like that. I don't know. They have changed a lot on a Route 22 since January began. Yeah, they have. It's needed because there's a lot of people, information, and photo out on the internet. Yeah, you're right. People dox folks all the time, man. I've been doxxed so many times because emotion is out and nowhere. Like there's been an issue of something. The state is just losing, and they know all the witnesses are going to reflect. Tick. They have to understand this gang stuff is for real and it's no joke. That's what KB needs to say. I just want to see from the people that have been in those live chats, have you seen any kind of threat towards the witness? Have you seen any of those? I know in my chat I haven't seen any threats. You know what I mean? Because I'd be like, oh, no, you ain't gonna come up in here saying that. I know it's none from here, so I don't know about the other places what they have said. I just got here. No, you're not. You're not, Kim. No, you watch it daily. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Saucy said she hadn't seen any threats. Anybody else have been watching the lives? Have you seen any threats towards a witness? I haven't. I've heard people saying that that they're gonna be. Yeah, I haven't seen no threats, but I mean, you don't know what's happening, so I don't know. Okay. So that's that part. So what they're requesting, not a total no media, it is just more if they're gonna police or worst enemy if they're jealous. Jerome Street says that. I've seen people saying the state case is bad. Yeah, I've heard that. True to it, yeah. No, most have moderators. Yeah, I mean, moderators tell them not to say certain things and things like that. And I guess it's just saying that the possibility of them coming after the person is great because they see the person. They might not say something in a chat. Kay says, I think the state just don't want people to see how they are flopping. Yeah. Kay, you're probably right. Kay Solo, you're probably right. They remove people if they talk crazy. Yeah. But Jazz, I think it's because the people in there, they might see some sort of comment. And then they said that last year there were people making some doing some doxing and going to people's house. Now that's kind of scary, y'all. That's kind of scary. I don't know. So you probably guys won't see any more people. I mean, the likelihood, and if they could show some real threat, the judge is going to grant it. If they could show some real threat, the judge is going to grant it. And it's probably because a lot of witnesses that they have are deciding they don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of witnesses probably like, I ain't doing it. Or they're afraid that they're not going to get the people to hear, you know. This is the ones that don't comment and I will be afraid of. Yeah, KK Bonita, and it's usually the ones that don't comment. May I ask what happened? And I hate to be being late. No, I just finished reading the state's request for the media to only record audio and no visual of the proceedings of the witnesses. So they're trying, and they don't want the witness's name put out. Only the first name and an initial of the last name. So they're trying to, I guess there's been some threats, some doxing and some things that has happened. And they don't want it to come to a point somebody getting hurt. In all cases, at just one you are covering. Just so far the one I'm covering. They are being badgered the heck out of that guy, and they've been on stand for days. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's more of how long this individual was up there on that stand. And I think that a lot of them are backing up because they seen, hey, this is a grilling thing going on. I don't want to get up in there and mess up. And I think that's what's happening, you know. If they are that worried, they should have had a closed courtroom. Well, they can't really have a closed courtroom. They have to have public access. What? No more fashion shoes. I don't think the shoes is the problem. I think if everybody was doing the shoes, I think they would have been okay. If everybody was doing the fashion shoes like me or taking selfie, it would have been okay because I was taking a picture of myself. I don't think that would have been a problem, but I think it's the having the witness up there. That's what they should let. Let us all do the fashion shoe stuff instead of. Hold on a second. My daughter's calling. Hold on. Sorry about that. She had a situation. What were you saying? What up? Hey, Bobby, Drake. Yeah, that they're scaring the witnesses. Hold on, let me go back up. What did you say? However, I love the way he was answering those questions. Infamous Sylvia. Yeah, he was answering the question. I think it is what you said. I think it's because the others see how he's being grilled, and they don't want that. They backing out of it, and I think that's what's going on. It's not the Sixth Amendment that goes against what they're saying, asking. This is for public trial. This is a public trial. It is a public trial. Hey, this is very interesting. Hey, Tosh, how are you? Hey, the people do the commentary during the law and crime breakdown about how bad the state is doing. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Hey, AJ, call him I think they have. Yeah, I've heard him call him a snitch and rat and stuff like that. But as far as oh, you've been waiting on me, AJ. I finished reading it already, AJ. We're just discussing it right now. You see, the state don't want us to see anymore. I know. I saw that. I just read it. I'm good. These people want to see. Yeah. See, and then there's restriction inside the courtroom because they don't have if everybody want to come down to the courtroom and watch, a lot of people are going to be turned away. They're not going to be able to have that ability. Yeah, they cited YouTube chat. They sure did. They were in the chat and they saw people saying stuff, and there's people in here that are watching from the state and the government. I mean, you thinking there's regular people in these chat? No, it's not regular people. I promise you. It's a lot of the state in these chats watching and seeing what we're saying, and you guys have been making them unfavorable. Hey, Sylvia, I just found out that you are a Capricorn. I am not a Capricorn. No, I am not a Cap. Don't you dare put that on me. I'm a Pisces. I am a Pisces. My birthday is 1 month and 1 day away. I am not a Capricorn. Bite your tongue. You're talking about Capricorn. I am not a Capricorn. Don't you do that to me. I'm a Pisces. Glanville might. I believe he probably will do it. Knowing Glanville, he's going to rule in favor of the state. Yep. But it's YouTube, the state reaching. Infamous Sylvia, I hope they don't fumble like they did like this on Finesto's case. I don't know what they're going to do with that case. Okay, Lil Woody is afraid to testify. Really? He's afraid to testify? Okay. I'll be in law and crime 1-1. You see how we've been gone so long? We've been gone a whole week, right? Now we come back in this here. Well, let me tell you something. A state still losing whether we see it in real or not. But you know what, y'all? That means that your girl gonna have to be there to writing notes and taking notes and playing the recording for y'all. That's what we're gonna have to be doing, y'all. I'm gonna have to be doing that because I'll be there for y'all. Wait a minute, I'm in December. A cap. That's your problem, sir. That's your problem. He's a December cap. That's your issue. It's not mine. The state is still losing. Okay, we got that. We wanted to see their reaction. You wanted to see their reaction? Oh, man. Why did they take a break? Everyone is full of... Well, I don't know why they took a break, but I think it's because the holiday was Monday, and I don't know. Maybe they all had something to do. I don't know. I don't want to make up stuff. But I want to see the reaction. The other thing they could do like I do. I only show my camera is only on the defendants. How about they just keep the camera on defendants? How about that, right? And for them to totally take it off, that's not good. Just keep it on the defendants. That's it. Boom. Just show the defendants. Y'all want to see Doug's reaction anyway. He says, "Oh, I was out. You was out with someone's birthday. No, Celeste. We were in a group and they were celebrating Capricorn birthday. It wasn't us. We were just just having fun, but we were just showing people that was celebrating their birthday. There was one person in table in front of us was celebrating, and then a person behind us, and then some people on the other side. That's what was happening. It wasn't us. Let's see. Okay, now Guys, you are ready for us to switch over to the next topic? The next topic, I'm going to be a slow reader in that one. And all those who don't like my reading, you can get off. Okay, y'all ready for the next topic? Okay, the next topic is on Miss Fani Willis. Y'all ready for the next topic? It's on Fani Willis, y'all. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. You know, y'all what? I don't use that word around here no more. I don't use that word anymore. You know the word that people be saying, side blank blank. I don't use that word. I've been already dogged out for that word. So I'm going to say extramarital affairs. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say extramarital affair, allegedly. Allegedly. Extramarital affairs. I'm not using the side, nothing. Okay? Because y'all be coming after me for all kinds of stuff. All right, you ready? Let me go pull up this case. Let me go. All right, hold on. Well, ooh, child, let me tell y'all. Now, here's the story behind this. Okay. The story is that, oh, wait a minute, y'all, my computer, let me close this thing up because my mouse has decided to go into my app, okay, hold on. Let me share this. Okay, here's the story. The story is that Miss Willis, Miss Fani Willis, right, hired a special prosecutor, right? The special prosecutor supposedly, allegedly, did not have the qualification to be in that position, right? So, and supposedly, her and this special prosecutor had an ongoing intimate relationship, allegedly. Hear me? Allegedly. I don't know how true it is. Allegedly. Everything is allegedly up in this channel, y'all. Allegedly. Okay? Allegedly. But I wanted to put a bug in your ear. Remember when Mr. William was on this channel a few months back? And remember he made some accusations? Right? He made some accusations in regarding to Miss Willis. Remember that? Allegedly. He made some side and saying some other stuff. And a lot of people like, oh, he better come real with what he's saying because all this stuff. Gloria said, girl, that's what y'all do down in Atlanta. I don't be messing with people's husband, okay? I don't be messing with people's husband. That's not my forte. I don't do that. I got my own husband. I don't need an extra knucklehead to be bothered with. I got one already. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and finish this. Well, according to one of the defendants on ex-President Trump's, there is some sort of relationship. The problem is not that they had a relationship. The problem that they're saying is the alleged relationship caused her to give favoritism to this man, Mr. Nathan Wade. Gave him a position, special prosecutor position. And not only did she give him that position, but she paid him really good. He got almost, I guess some places said over $1 million, and some places said $650,000 she paid him over a short period. I mean, short period of time. It was like, what, 200 something each year, something like that, or between the 2 years is like divide that 6 something is like 3.5, right? A year. So, and not only that he took some trips with her, allegedly, right? So this didn't come out until the divorce proceeding, and the divorce proceeding supposedly was sealed. And it was unsealed. Don't know the facts and the information on that. But what I'm going to read here is that they recently, she has 2 court cases, 2 hearings to attend to. Okay. One of the hearings is coming up on the 23rd of January, which yours truly plan on being there, right? Yours truly plan on being there. That in that hearing is supposed to be supposed to be being deposed on the I guess the funding, the money, because the wife is looking for the money. You know what I mean? They filed for divorce and he's trying, I guess, want to give her pennies, allegedly. And now she wants the person who's supposedly allegedly in the relationship with her husband to give her testimony on what's happening. A deposition is a verbal testament of certain things, right? So she's being deposed, asking for her to be deposed. And then, not only that, the co-defendants of Mr. Trump, ex-President Trump, saying there's some, what do you call it? Some, what's the word I want to use? Some illegal actions, because there's some sort of conflict of interest. Not only conflict of interest, but some misconduct of her oath of office with this person, because there are people, they're saying that he was not he did not have enough experience. There's people in her office that could have did the job, but she gave it to him. And that and I guess it's based because of the alleged relationship. Okay. That's the alleged relationship. But there is a video that I would like to play for you guys in regard to what she said. I'm gonna play the audio part. I'm not gonna play the visual because hold on a second. I don't know why I got that. Hold on a second. Hold on. That wasn't it. Sorry. Okay, she's at the church, and this is her statement at church. Okay, I'm gonna play the whole church thing here for y'all. Just a minute. Hold on a second.
only to hear from a perfect person. Well, he was crucified and he died for your sin. Today, what he has brought you is his very flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect servant. And so I pray for him to please use me this morning. Some people are in this place to hear the word of God. Others are here for other reasons, but God got a way of making sure no matter why you came, you need his message. So the thing being celebrated today is, it starts with me. I want somebody to repeat that. It starts with me. Shifting the cultural climate through the study and practice of Dr. King's nonviolent philosophy. So I'm going to start here. When I researched the history of this monumental church, two words just jumped off the page at me. And the words were this: this church is built on faith and resilience. That's it. The hard-headed, flawed, imperfect servant before you is built and is being constantly chiseled on faith and resilience. I smiled when I read the description. I knew God was telling me, I'm sending you where you need to be. I was invited here to give you a message, but yet my God does what he always does. He brought a message to me. He knew this child needed reminding. So I want to talk to you today about what it's required to be a soldier in this warfare, and that's what it is. Warfare to shift the cultural climate. I must reveal to you a secret, though. Oh, wait for it. They want to know. The journey is ugly. The journey is painful. The journey is full of pitfalls. But if you are one of his children, you must answer the purpose. You must answer the call. Y'all don't hear me. You must answer the mandate. The question becomes, are you qualified? And it really comes down to this. How much are you personally willing to sacrifice for the greater good and his purpose? How much? I want you to really sit and think about that question. How much are you willing to sacrifice for God's purpose? See, I must confess to you, as a little girl, I really did not think that Dr. Martin Luther King's dream would still be just a work in progress. I thought by 2024, as a 52-year-old woman, that certainly us humans would have gotten it together. That the cultural shift would have already taken place. I thought by now, well, we would all just be getting along. Boy, was I wrong. Now, right now, as much as any time in history, we need a cultural shift. As Americans have normalized, some of y'all say that with me, Americans have normalized. They've normalized cruelty. They've normalized bigotry. They've normalized hate. Many of our youth and adults have no respect for authority. See, they criticize me for who my earthly father is and my heavenly one. Let me tell you about this earthly daddy of mine. See, my father is one of the few Americans living who was actually able to meet with Dr. Martin Luther King. He's an older man now. Don't tell him I said, y'all. And he's told me often, you see how now you look around and on every corner they have Dr. Martin Luther King's picture. And anywhere you go, they are celebrating Dr. King. He said, well, that's not how it was when he was here. Oh, we're going to tell the truth this morning. He tells me, you see, when Dr. King was here, I've seen him very hurt. My father's revealed to me he's seen him in moments where Dr. King was saddened.
That's it.
He was saddened because people were cruel to him, unsupportive. Even some people he thought were naturally in his camp. He told me that there were those that were jealous. And he really took a lot of abuse. He says Dr. King was a great man. A prophet, he calls him. He said he was filled with good and kindness, and the only thing he wanted to do was make the world a more equitable place. He said Dr. King was not a perfect man, but he was a great man, willing to answer God's call.
That's it.
You all, this week at one point, because they told me I could be honest with y'all, I became so in need of my source. I stopped. And to tap in, I penned a letter to my Heavenly Father. I desperately needed to tap in to that one source.
That's it.
See, God knows my heart, my joys, my pains, my sins, my flaws. I am one of his hard-headed children, so he must get me together often. I'm telling the truth this morning. But see, in my life, I have experienced things that have taught me Jesus is the only source I can only rely on every time and all the time. I wondered if it was okay with you to share this letter I wrote this week to my God. But you are warned, it ain't the prettiest journey. And me and my God, we talk like regular folks. Dear Father in heaven, 4 years ago, you sent a godly woman to see me. She was different from me in so many ways. She was married to a wonderful man in law enforcement while I was out here real single, y'all. She was a mother. She was not yet a mother at the time, and I was raising two 20-year-olds, and I did say still raising. She was a different race than mine, and she was a Republican while I was a Democrat. Our commonality was we were both God-fearing women. But I must admit, God, she's much further in her journey than me with Christ. She explained to me, God, that you had spoken to her and told her to seek me out, and so she did. She said you had seen my heart, and you, Father, knew how I loved this county and my community. She provided me with the Bible and encouraged me to commit to reading it often. She said you revealed to her that if I promised to work hard, follow you, root out corruption at every level, you would give me the position of leadership I sought. I had no idea what her words meant. But in this beautiful lady, I saw Christ. So I knew I was just going to obey. I don't think either of us at the time had an idea what I would inherit or gain as I became the DA. Lord, even right now, I continue to feel unworthy of him. a divorced single mom who doesn't belong to the right social groups, doesn't necessarily come from the right family, doesn't have the right pedigree. The assignment was just too high for lowly me. All I brought to the table, God, is my mind, my heart, my work ethic, my undying love for people and the community. Lord, you know my history. I'm still carrying childhood hurts. I struggled the entire time I raised my children. You remember when he left, and it was just me and these two little girls figuring out how to get it done. God did not seem to care about my laundry list of shortcomings. He was not interested in my view. So I obeyed. To be honored as the first DA, and who was a woman. Y'all hear me on that? Not a woman of color, just a woman. Will always be one of my greatest honors. I worked so hard for it so long, but I still humbly realize only 1% of the district attorneys in this country are women of color. Why should I, your lowly servant, get this honor? But then this job began. Wait a minute, God. You forgot to tell me there was more than 50,000 cases not closed. You left that detail out. Wait a minute, God. 18,000 unindicted cases going back 7 years? Wait a minute, God. The morale of the staff is in the toilet. And some of them are unqualified around here. God, you gotta be kidding. 7 of the highest profile cases in the United States gonna lay them right here? Nah, please make it stop. God, you forgot to mention that my life and the life of my family would be threatened so regularly, I now think it's not normal if I don't have 2 death threats a week. God, you did not tell me that people would call me the N-word more than they call me Fani. You did not tell me as a woman of color, it would not matter what I did. My motive, my talent, my ability, and my character would be constantly attacked. You did not tell me that the people would think they required of me perfection and flawless. God, why would you send this imperfect and very flawed woman to that position? God, you did not tell me my home would be swept multiple times for bombs. Or that most days and nights that I would spend them in isolation because that was the safest place to be. You forgot to mention, Lord, that I would have to abandon my home. You forgot to mention the loneliness of this position, and you certainly didn't tell me about this stress. God, I trust you. God, I thank you. God, I love you. I thank you for every attack that makes me stronger. See, I sit here with a peace that surpasses. Dear God, I do not want to be like those that attack me. I never want to be a Marjorie Taylor Greene who has never met me, but has allowed her spirit to be filled with hate. How is this woman who has the honor of being a leader in my state, how is it that she has not reached out to me? She can tell me, I don't agree with anything you're doing, but I do not agree with people threatening your life or the life of your family. That is conduct that is wrong and intolerable, and as a leader, I shall not stand for it. How can such a woman come to think that it was normal and normalized that another woman was worthy of such cruelty? derogatory name calling, the being doxxed multiple times. God, you never told me that on Christmas night 2023, that I would get an emergency call from Capers Green, my chief of investigations. The police are surrounding your house. A man has called 911 and he said he shot a woman in the head. I am headed there. You never told me the pure, unimaginable fear as I believe my oldest child was dead in my home. I cannot describe, God, for you the panic and the terror and the fear I had, believing my child was no longer with me. I thank you, Lord, that it all turned out to be a cruel hoax and just another day to steal my joy as I tried to celebrate you. God responds to his hard-headed trial. Pray for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Pray for the man's soul who called your house. God, wait a minute. I ain't there yet. I'm still in my walk with you. I'm just being honest. This is me and my Lord talking. God, I don't really want to do that. I ain't feeling it. God, do as I said, child. I am using her to grow you. Pray for her. I am using all of these experiences to fortify you. Flawed, hard-headed, imperfect me. Pray for her? Yes.
Jasmine, no cussing in my chat, ma'am. No cuss words in my chat, please. Thank you.
But dear God, are you listening? Why does Commissioner Thorne and so many others question my decision in a special counsel? Lord,
I know you feeling emotions behind this, but I know the emotion.
Flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child, I'm a little confused. I appointed 3 special counselors. Is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one. I hired one white woman, a good personal friend and great lawyer. A superstar, I tell you. I hired one white man, brilliant, my friend, and a great lawyer. And I hired one black man, another superstar, a great friend, and a great lawyer. Oh Lord, they gonna be mad when I call them out on this nonsense. First thing they say, oh, she gonna play the race card now. But no, God, isn't it them who's playing the race card when they only question one? Isn't it them playing the race card when they constantly think, I need someone from some other jurisdiction in some other state to tell me how to do a job I've been doing almost 30 years. God, why don't they look at themselves and just be honest? I mean, can't they keep it 100 with themselves? Why are they so surprised that a diverse team that I assembled, your child, can accomplish extraordinary things? God, wasn't it them that attacked this lawyer of impeccable credentials? The black man I chose has been a judge more than 10 years, run a private practice more than 20, represented businesses in civil litigation. I ain't done, y'all. Served as a prosecutor, a criminal defense lawyer, special assistant attorney general, won Chief Justice Robert Benham Award from the State Bar of Georgia. You know, they ain't just giving this to black men. How come, God, the same black man I hired was acceptable when a Republican in another county hired him and paid him twice the rate? Oh, y'all ain't hear me. In another county, the elected official has the authority to pay him twice the rate. Amendment good enough, but the black female Democrats not. Now, please hear me. I'm not criticizing his judgment. The people of his county elected him to make that decision. In fact, let me put it on the record. He's someone I respect because he was always willing to hire diversity. He was just looking for quality. I don't care political party. They care about it. My only question is, why is it questioned me? Now, I want to be clear. All three of these special counselors are superstars. But I'm just asking God, is it that some will never see a black man as qualified, no matter his achievements? What more can one achieve? The other two have never been judges, but no one questions their credentials. I'm just saying. Lord, I'm just asking, is it that I, because of the shell you chose to put me in, will never be qualified in their eyes to make the decisions the voters put me here to make? Lord, never mind your flawed, imperfect servant has composed a team that wins, and wins. Never mind, Lord, that this leader has a trial conviction rate of 95%. Never mind, Lord, that the trial team this lawyer put together has a conviction rate of 95%. Never mind, Lord, that the appellate rate of my office is 96%. Never mind, Lord, that 400 plus children are touched by the programming that my staff put together to keep them out of gangs. Never mind, Lord, thousands of records of citizens in my county have now been restricted so they can work and get homes and return to being productive. Never mind, Lord, in 3 years I have cut the backlog by more than 50%. Never mind, Lord, in my community where in the rest of the country crime is down 5 to 7%, is down 20% here. Never mind, Lord, homicides are down in Atlanta by 21%. Is there something about me, Lord, that makes me still unqualified? God, pray response. Child, pray for those. They can't see what I've qualified. Wait, God. I'm gonna slow down here. It's your hard-headed child. I told you I don't want to pray for them. I am tired of being treated cruelly. Pray for them anyway, child. Pray for their hearts. Pray for their souls. I qualified you. I qualified your imperfect, flawed self. I saw you in every hour. Do my work. Ignore the distractions. Some of y'all may be familiar with my God that I serve. So I'm going to stop a minute here. He's the same God that took Moses to that burning bush. How many of y'all know Moses had a speech impediment? That's the servant that God sent to give the greatest messaging of all time. Let my people go. God must like hard-headed children because Moses told him, you know I got a speech impediment, right? And who am lowly me to go do that? He said, go tell them the great I am sent you. How many of y'all know God will use regular, ordinary folks to do extraordinary things? Let me say that for y'all again. How many of you all know the God I serve will use ordinary folk to do extraordinary things? God will see all your mistakes, all your flaws, and still choose you to serve. So God told me, I know you're tired of your circumstances, but I'm preparing you. The road ahead of you has some dark days and some bright days. So ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday, I was at a very low point. Really tired of all the pain that people cause. So weary of hearing mothers come in talking about their children being hurt or worse, lives taken from them. That pain, I'm somebody who just takes it on. And it got a little heavy on Thursday. Tired of the 14-hour days. If I can be honest with you, tired of the isolation, the loneliness, the backstabbing.
Backstabbing.
But then my on-time God.
Did you hear she said backstabbing? So somebody in her office told on her then, huh?
I showed up as he always does. A lady I love and respect but had not seen in more than 2 years randomly came by the office. I don't stop and take lunch, y'all. I don't have no time in my day. But somehow God miraculously cleared my schedule for 40 minutes. Appointments canceled and open up. So I could spend 40 quality minutes with this lady. She was another leader. She brought me her testimony of the 2 last awful years. And I'm going to tell you, I felt ashamed because I was so caught up in my own world. I didn't know what my friend had been through. She told me of a cheating husband and a divorce that had taken place. She talked to me about cancer that entered her body and almost took her out of this place. She talked to me about family trauma and of a child trying to commit suicide. Lord, she told me she was mad with you. The position of authority she had, she really didn't want, but she took it because you told her to, and she had been obedient. And so she wanted to know, how could I be obedient, Lord, and you take me through this last 2 years I've had? She said, Lord, you said you would perfect me. You would perfect the things concerning me. My husband left me. My body became sick. My children suffer. My finances are in the toilet. This is far from perfect. The Lord said to her, when I told you to devote yourself to me, I will perfect you. You heard it in your human ears. You heard that meant I would make things easy and perfect. I did not mean that things would be easy as you heard it. She said she then looked at the biblical interpretation. When the verse says the Lord will perfect that which concerns you, it literally means he will complete it. How many of you all know my friend's random visit was not random at all? And once again, the Lord was talking to his hard-headed child. When the Lord was saying he would perfect the things concerning me, he was telling me he would use me to complete it. So I'm here to tell you something. And it may make some of y'all a little uncomfortable. God's using ordinary people to do extraordinary things. I come real regular. In fact, when I meet people, that's what they say. Real regular, you don't have no airs about yourself. And I said, well, how can I come from regular folk. I ain't got no pedigree. I'm not a member of any of those elite organizations. And one more thing, I'm as flawed as they come. But there is something special about me. It's my willingness to love people. I love people of every political party, different viewpoints, different races, different sexuality. And one thing you will come to learn about me is I make sure everyone else is good, and sometimes I'm not. See, Dr. King was an extremely special, brilliant, godly man, but he was just a man. And his journey was full of mistakes, pitfalls, pain, and ugliness. Despite all of that, he overcame those things and he changed the entire world. See, I know we are at a time of history when they want to throw away books and not talk about history. Some of y'all may have forgotten when Dr. King was alive, he was attacked for his stance on the Vietnam War. Some of y'all might have forgotten that scandal the FBI tried to do on personal indiscretions they alleged. Some of y'all forgot that. But now that same FBI will take a day off to celebrate Dr. King because Hollywood said it will make him your history. All the glory I receive, it's his grace, not a perfect me. We are at a time in history, people. Hear me on this. We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect Black women to be perfect and save the world. The Lord is completing us. We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace. With that kind of support, we will move mountains and do Jesus' will. Stumbling all the way. So his flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child has a message for each of you today. Please find a way to do your extraordinary, God-given assignment and make this community and the world a better place for all of his people. See, it is never about who you are. It is always about the great I am and who he is. See, we are all flawed, sinners, unworthy, imperfect, damaged, but we are qualified upon his calling. You can find common ground with people of all different ideologies if you simply commit yourself to being obedient and steadfast in your efforts and his work. If you commit yourself, God will turn your hard-headed self into the extraordinary for his kingdom. Thank you.
All right, that was her message. But guys, let me go ahead on and read the motion that was submitted by Nathan Wade's estranged wife. That's what we would call her, right? This is the motion that her attorney put in regarding to Fani Willis coming in to give her deposition. Did you see Fani Willis court filing, Trump co-conspirator, a new conspirator, special prosecutor soon? Okay, is this what you're talking about? This right here? Greer, are you talking about this one? Is this motion you're talking about? I have the other one too with the other one, but let me just go ahead and read this for you guys. The defense response to emergency motion by non-party deponent for protective order. Now comes the defendant, Joycelyn Wade, and by and through her counsel of record, and hereby files her response to non-party Fani T. Willis's emergency motion by non-party deponent for protective order and would demonstrate to this honorable court as follows. Well, I'll read that one in a minute. Hold on. Oh, my throat is itching. Lord Jesus. Oh, my Lord. My throat's itching. Introduction. Non-party Fani T. Willis seeks this court's intervention via protective order to avoid sitting for a court-ordered disposition. The arguments asserted by Ms. Willis is disingenuous, specious, and non-claim basis for same fails as a matter of law. Upon information and belief, Ms. Willis has information and knowledge directly relevant to the alleged conduct of the plaintiff that would be considered by the court as an equitable division of the marital estate, dispensation, and the marital assets and spousal support. Furthermore, Ms. Willis implies threats to pursue charges against defendant and her counsel based on an inconvenient fact from her personal life that are directly relevant to the ongoing divorce proceedings in the above style action as an upfront to the integrity of her office. Contrary to the assertion of her in her motion, Ms. Willis' prevarications regarding defendant's conduct in her marriage seems to demonstrate that Ms. Willis does in fact possess intimate information about the Wade's marriage, albeit false and libelous and misinformation. Background. Plaintiff was appointed as a special prosecutor by Ms. Willis on November 1st, 2021. Plaintiff filed for divorce on November 2nd, 2021. Defendant was served by process server on November 3rd, 2021. Before defendant ever filed her answer and counterclaim, plaintiff filed a motion asking the court to seal a record in this divorce action. Plaintiff did not reveal to the defendant his appointment by Ms. Willis or the substantial income that he has been receiving throughout this divorce case as a result of that appointment. And defendant did not discover the same until much later in the proceedings. The plaintiff also left defendant with little means of financial support while simultaneously spending tens of thousands of dollars per month on a very lavish lifestyle. Plaintiff willfully failed to comply with the discovery obligation in the very divorce case that he initiated, which led to the court holding him contempt of this court's order on defendant's motion to compel discovery. On December 22nd, 2023, hold on, y'all. Hold on, I heard something. Hold on. Y'all listen out for me, okay? All right, sorry about that, y'all. My bad. Everything's cool. All right, here we go. Where was I at? Nobody's here. I just heard something. I thought I heard the door. All right, where was I at? All right, I'm gonna start from the beginning. On December 22nd, 2023, plaintiff only produced a portion of his outstanding required discovery responses. In these responses were credit card statements, which demonstrated that the plaintiff had paid for, I had to breathe hard, hold on, had paid for and had taken trip unrelated to his work with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Since plaintiff filed for divorce, he has taken trips to San Francisco and Napa Valley, to Florida, and even gone to Caribbean cruise, enjoying a trip to Belize, another to the country of Panama, and he even just last month took a trip to Australia. The evidence is clear that Miss Willis was an intended travel partner for at least some of these trips, as indicated by flights he purchased for her to accompany him. Oh, true and accurate copies of the credit card statement showing the purchase of the plane ticket for the plaintiff and Miss Willis are attached hereby to as compact exhibit A. I'm sorry, y'all. It took my breath away, for real. Oh. I'm reading your comments. Y'all said, wow. Felicia said, take my breath away. He's doing it in Australia. What is he doing there? I don't know. Andy said, well, dang. All right. Defendant seeks to depose Miss Willis in order to determine details surrounding her romantic affair with the plaintiff. Oh, God. Okay. As there appears to be no reasonable explanation for their travel apart from a romantic relationship, Miss Willis contends in error that given the parties both siding of their divorce pleading, the no-fault provision of irreversibly broken with a reasonable hope of reconciliation. The defendant's inquiry into plaintiff infidelity is impermissible. However, Miss Willis is mistaken. In Georgia divorce proceeding, a party can amend a pleading up to the entry of the pretrial order. And as to a pretrial order, it has been entered. In this case, such amendment are permissible. Price versus Price. And then you go these case numbers. Okay. Furthermore, a party to a divorce action is not required to allege adultery in the complaint or a counterclaim in order to discover and present evidence of the same. Although the defendant was unaware of a romantic relationship between Miss Willis and her husband while filing her counterclaim, the Court of Appeals of Georgia in Ewan versus Ewan stated, in divorce cases such as this, in which the equitable division of property is at issue, the conduct of the parties, including evidence of spousal alleged adultery, is relevant and admissible. See Wood versus Wood. Then another case number. Accordingly, the wife is entitled to engage in discovery, which might lead to admissible evidence to the husband alleged adultery. Ewan versus Ewan. Parties may obtain discovery regarding any matter not privileged in which relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action. OCGA 9-11-26B1. In the discovery context, court should and ordinarily do interpret relevant very broadly to mean the matter that is relevant to anything that is or may become an issue in the litigation. Emphasis implied. Bowden versus the Medical Center. Contrary to Ms. Willis's belief, the defendant is not utilizing the deposition to harass her, but rather to seek permanent pertinent information from her husband's Panama regarding her relationship with the plaintiff and the extent of the plaintiff's financial involvement in the same. These answers are relevant to the equitable division of the marital estate, disparity of marital asset, and the plaintiff's capacity to provide spousal support. Ms. Willis also mistakenly relied on Section 26-1 of the Chapter 11 of the Georgia Civil Practice Act to shield herself from deposition, OCGA 9-11-26.1, stating that protective order for certain high-ranking members of the governmental body or public or private entity can be issued for good cause. To prohibit this deposition of an officer who lacks unique personal knowledge of any matter that is relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action. Upon information and belief, Ms. Willis certainly would have unique personal knowledge of a romantic relationship she was having with the plaintiff and the trip she took with him, either before or after divorce was filed. Therefore, her argument lacks merit. As for Ms. Willis' argument that the subpoena service was defective, the subpoena, which came from and was sealed by the clerk of court of Cobb County, was properly served in accordance to Georgia law, and a notice of this deposition was contemporaneously filed into the court's record and served upon plaintiff's counsel, which denoted the method in which the subpoena would be recorded. It would be impossible to obtain Ms. Willis's home address due to her position, which allows for her address to be shielded from the public's view. So normal investigative techniques for locating home addresses would be fruitless, such as a skip trace. The process server effectively notorious service with Tia Green, executive assistant to DA attorney Fani Willis. So this is the person that she's calling the backstabber. Tia Green, executive assistant. That's her assistant. To Attorney Fani Willis, T. Willis of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office on January 8, 2024. It should be noted that after a previous attempt to serve Ms. Willis at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office the week prior, notorious service was accomplished with Ms. Willis' executive assistant upon Ms. Green representation that she was authorized to accept services for Ms. Willis' behalf. Okay. A true and accurate copies of the affidavits of the process server is attached hereto as Defendant Exhibit B. However, in an abundance of caution, the defendant was served a new subpoena for deposition upon Ms. Willis by statutory overnight service contractor with OCGA 24-13-24, the same to be delivered to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office on January 19, 2024. That's today. That's today, y'all. 4 days before her deposition. So that's on the 23rd, right? On a true and accurate copy of the second subpoena to Fani Willis dated January 18, attached hereto as Exhibit C. In her motion, Ms. Willis has presented extensive personal information regarding the Wade's marriage, including false allegation that the defendant engaging in an affair in 2017. How did she know? How did she know that the wife was having an affair? That's a little bit personal. Okay. However, the evidence will demonstrate that Miss Wade did not have an affair. Defendant was experiencing a profound sense of disconnection in her marriage to the plaintiff, who had essentially ceased investing in their relationship following plaintiff's own actual infidelity. Feeling lonely and isolated following plaintiff's prior infidelity, defendant regrettably reconnected with an old friend through social media and text messages, where the sole intent of their contact was the sole intent. Was the sole extent to their contact. Plaintiff and defendant successfully worked through this issue, as evidenced by the fact that it was not until 4 years later that the plaintiff filed for divorce. It is crucial to emphasize that the defendant never met in person with the individual she texted with during that period, had no physical contact with him, and certainly did not engage in any travel with him. Defendant's counsel intend to, among other things, examine Miss Willis regarding the allegations she has made against defendant, the facts and circumstances around her obtaining this information, as well as regarding her own personal relationship with defendant. Allegations regarding the parties' marriage contained in Miss Willis's motion essentially raises the question of whether Miss Willis possesses equal intimate knowledge of their marital discord involving any other of her special prosecutor. Her public inquiry on why the one seems to be met with a response that suggests because you, Miss Willis, are having an affair with him and not them. It is regrettable that Miss Willis has filed such inflammatory motion, which has left the defendant with no other choice than to respond forcefully and with supporting evidence in a case that is very personal in their nature. The defendant's sole objective is to lead a peaceful life, and her counsel is commitment to ensuring that she has adequate means to support herself and defend herself in this litigation. If non-party Miss Willis seeks protection, it appears that the one she needs protection from is herself. Wherefore, defendant prayed that honorable court denies the emergency motion by non-party deponent for protective order and all the relief of the court deems fair and proper. Respectfully submitted the 19th day of January, 2024. All right, so that's that one. Let me go get the other one. Hold on, y'all. That is that one. We're going to go read. All right, let's go. Let's close this one out. Close. That is that one. Hold on. Let's go. Let's go get this one. Hold on. Yeah, this is some craziness in it. Hold on. This is crazy, y'all. This is some crazy stuff. Hold on. All right, y'all ready to see Fani Willis's thing here? Hold on. I gotta put my stuff on there. Hold on. I gotta put my what do you call it? My watermark. Hold on, y'all. Let me put my watermark. Hold on. I just downloaded it. I need to put my watermark on it. Hey, Pam S. Hold on, let's go ahead and pull it up, pull it up, put it up, put it up, put it up. Watermark. Let's see, put them on watermark. Just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to find my little watermark marker. Where is the watermark? Or there we go. They're going to add the watermark. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, we put that one. Fani Willis natives. All right, here we go. I'm going to put that watermark on that. Let's see, infamous Sylvia. Infamous Sylvia right there. Change that right. Hold on, y'all. I'm just trying to get my watermark on here and then put my color. Color is purple. All right. I'm going to put this in the middle. And we're going to add the watermark. Here we go. Download it. It's going to pop up here. There we go. And we're going to open it up. Let me close this other thing here. Let me close these things here. Okay, here we go. Let me share it with you guys. All right, y'all ready? Let's share it with y'all right now. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, y'all ready? Let me make this bigger for y'all. Let's make it a little bigger. So can we see? Okay, y'all can see that? All right, it says Nathan J. Wade, plaintiff, and V. Joycelyn Wade, defendant. Okay, emergency motion by non-party deponent for protective order. Now come Fani T. Willis, a non-party deponent in the above style action, and hereby moves this court for a protective order pursuant to OCGA 911-26 and 9-11-26.1 because justice so requires. Defendant Joycelyn Wade seeks to conduct the deposition of Willis on January 23rd, 2024 at 10 a.m. This is where I plan on being, y'all. In support of the non-party deposition emergency motion for protective order. Non-party deponent shows this court the following. Facts. Fani T. Willis isn't the elected district attorney of the Atlanta District Judicial Circuit, commonly known as the Office of Fulton County District Attorney. Fani T. Willis was elected as district attorney in November of 2020 and began serving in this capacity on January 1st, 2021. The Office of the Fulton County District Attorney executed a contract with Nathan J. Wade, PC, which is the legal entity that employs the plaintiff, Nathan J. Wade. This contract was executed in compliance with the state and local rule and regulations. The contract commenced on November 2021. As part of the contract, Nathan J. Wade worked as a special prosecutor on this case charged under indictments 23 SC 188947 concerning the former president of the United States and other alleged co-conspirator hereinafter the election interference case. On January 8th, 2023 at 12:01 p.m., defendant Joycelyn Wade, through her attorney, Adrian Haston, attempted to serve Fani T. Willis with a notice of deposition. See Exhibit A. Joycelyn Wade is a defendant wife in the above titled domestic case involving Fulton County Special Prosecutor Nathan J. Wade. The subpoena was presented to an employee of the Office of the Fulton County District Attorney. Comparatively, On January 8th, on 2023, Michael Roman, who is a defendant in the election interference case through his attorney, Ashley Merchant, filed a motion to unseal the above titled divorce matter. Additionally, on January 8th at 2:42 p.m., the same date of the deposition, notice to non-party deponent Michael Roman, the defendant in the election interference case, filed a motion to disqualify District Attorney, her office, and the Special Prosecutor Nathan J. Wade from furthering prosecuting the election interference case, alleging a conflict of interest among the lawyers prosecuting on behalf of the Fulton County. Argument. The protective order should issue, and the subpoena for the deposition of District Attorney Fani T. Willis should be squashed pursuant to OCGA 9-11-26.1, as the deposition is not reasonably calculated to lead to the discovery of relevant or admissible evidence. Section 26.1 of this Chapter 11 of the Georgia Civil Practice Act, which is titled Protective Order for a certain high-ranking member of the government body or public or private entity, provides a good cause for protective order to prohibit the deposition of an officer may be shown by proof that such person is in office and lack unique personal knowledge of any matter that is relevant to the subject matter involving in the pending action, OCGA 9.11.26.1. There can be no serious dispute that Ms. Willis is an officer as defined by the statute, given that in her position as Fulton County District Attorney with authority over criminal prosecution for the entire Atlanta Judicial District, she is a high-ranking officer of a governmental entity and has extensive scheduling demands and responsibility. OCGA 9-11-26.1a. More importantly, District Attorney Willis lacked unique personal knowledge of any matter that is relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action. The defendant, Joycelyn Wade, has not alleged otherwise. Indeed, the deposition of the District Attorney's Fani T. Willis cannot provide unique personal knowledge of any of the matter that is relevant to the defendant Wade's divorce, because on the information and belief, the plaintiff filed for divorce on November 2nd, 2021, on the grounds that the marriage was irretrievably broken. And on November 30th, 2021, the defendant answered and agreed that the marriage was irretrievably broken. By definition, as reasoned by the Supreme Court in Harwell versus Harwell, and I give a case number here, an irretrievable broken marriage is one where either or both parties are unable or refuse to cohabit, and there is no perspective for reconciliation. Examination of the docket reveals that for 26 months prior to attempting to serve this non-party witness subpoena for deposition, the parties have not amended their pleading. Thus, hold on, they gave this thing here. Hold on. They each separately alleged and maintained that their marriage was and remained irretrievably broken. It is well established that both parties in a divorce proceeding assert that a marriage is irretrievably broken, which is a legal conclusion signifying that there is no hope for reconciliation. There is no unique issue of fact that remains to be decided concerning the divorce. Freeman versus Freeman. In Freeman, the Supreme Court of Georgia affirmed the trial court's ruling that since the parties admitted in their pleading that the marriage was irretrievably broken, the fact finder was not required to decide whether or not the wife was additionally entitled to divorce based on her alleged allegation of cruel treatment by the husband, as there was no genuine issue of fact to deciding by a jury, and it was proper to grant the divorce based on solely on the pleading. ID at 255. On information and belief, plaintiff and defendant do not live together. How she know, y'all? Because she lives with them, allegedly. Do not live together. And defendant was living outside the state of Georgia, separate and apart from the plaintiff since 2021. Thus, there is no perspective of reconciliation and genuine issue of material fact in need of resolution. Defendant Joycelyn Wade has not alleged otherwise. In fact, the defendant has not made a specific request for information from District Attorney Willis. If, however, media reports are any indication, the defendant may intend to ask questions regarding the nature of any relationship with the plaintiff. Because the parties agreed that the divorce is irretrievably broken and the concept of fault is not at issue, there is no information that District Attorney Willis would provide that might prove relevant to granting or denying the divorce. Thus, any information sought from District Attorney Willis would be irrelevant to the divorce proceeding pending in this court. See Dickinson versus Dickinson. Okay, holding judgment of divorce on pleading is permitted where parties agree marriage is irretrievably broken. Cited Freeman versus Freeman. There's a case law on that. Marshall versus Marshall. Whitmore versus Whitmore, Loftus versus Loftus, Anderson versus Anderson, Adams versus Adams. As a result, the sought-after deposition in this case is outside the scope of the pending divorce action and outside the scope of discovery. On information and belief, defendant is using discovery as a vehicle to harass non-party deponent Willis. The sought-after deposition of District Attorney Willis is not relevant to the subject matter involved in the pending action and should not be permitted. For this reason, there is good cause for a protective order under OCGA 9-11-26-1 to prohibit the deposition of non-party deponent Fani T. Willis. Jerome said, get it, infamous, lot of redo. Oh, nice reading. You messing with me. Leave me alone, Jerome. Leave me alone. Okay. Y'all know I get stuck with this reading crap. And y'all know I don't like reading, but I have to read. Y'all making me read. Okay, number 2. Defendant Joyce Wade failure to identify a relevant purpose for the sought-after deposition suggests that it is intended to harass. On information and belief, as early as 2017, prior to plaintiff Nathan J. Wade ever meeting non-party deponent Willis, the parties to the above-style divorce agreed that their marriage was irretrievably broken. After defendant Joycelyn Wade confessed to an adulterous relationship with the plaintiff's longtime friend, the defendant Joycelyn Wade adulteress precluded any chance of reconciliation. To protect the interests of both parties, plaintiff and defendant agreed to seal the records in their divorce case. However, the parties delayed filing for the benefit of their children, specifically to allow the children to reach the age of majority. Defendant Joycelyn Wade has not objected to Michael Roman's motion to unseal the proceeding, despite having previously sought it, having benefited from its protection for more than 2 years. On further information and belief, the subpoena for the deposition of District Attorney Willis is being sought in an attempt to harass and damage the professional reputation. It is also being sought in an unreasonable manner to annoy, embarrass, and oppress the deponent. On further information and belief, defendant Joycelyn Wade has conspired with interested parties in a criminal election interference case to use the civil discovery process to annoy, embarrass, and oppress District Attorney Willis. In support of this contention, 1. A defective subpoena for the deposition of District Attorney Fani T. Willis was conspicuously coordinated with pleading in the election interference case. Specifically, criminal defendant Michael Roman filed a motion seeking to unseal Mr. and Mrs. Wade's divorce proceeding on the same day within hours of defendant Joycelyn Wade public request to depose Miss Willis as part of the divorce proceeding involving plaintiff Nathan J. Wade. Number 2, prior to the attempted service of the subpoena on District Attorney Willis, plaintiff Nathan J. Wade and defendant Joycelyn Wade filed a contest motion to seal the divorce proceeding to keep them private. The court sealed the divorce on February 10th, 2022. It was only after defendant Joycelyn Wade sought to subpoena District Attorney Fani T. Willis that there was a request to unseal the divorce proceeding. This subsequent event, coupled with the absence of any relevant basis, was deposing District Attorney Willis in an uncontested, no-fault divorce where the parties have been separated over 2 years, suggests that the defendant Joycelyn Wade is using the legal process to harass and embarrass District Attorney Willis, and in doing so is obstruction and interfering with an ongoing criminal procedure. Number 3. On information and belief, because the parties to the above style divorce have no minor children and they each contend that the marriage is irretrievably broken, the only potential issue that might be relevant to the plaintiff Nathan J. Wade's current employment would be how his compensation relates to the division of the marital property. Yet, even this is not an issue presently in dispute. And even if it were, defendant Joycelyn Wade has acknowledged through counsel receipt of all financial documents related to plaintiff Nathan J. Wade's employment by the Office of Fulton County District Attorney. In fact, the custodian of records for the Fulton County District Attorneys pursuant to OCGA 28-8-8036 has provided defendant Joycelyn Wade with all documents related to plaintiff I keep saying Jason, Nathan J. Wade compensation. As a result, defendant Joycelyn Wade has released from deposition the deputy of operation for Fulton County who have the most relevant information related to the practices and procedures concerning employees and contract compensation. Defendant Joycelyn Wade has not identified any other relevant basis for questioning or seeking discovery from the District Attorney Willis. Number three, the non-party witness subpoena deposition of District Attorney Fani T. Willis is overburdensome and unreasonable. The non-party witness subpoena deposition was improperly served on January 8, 2024, specifically that the deposition shall take place on January 23, 2023 at 10 a.m. A mere 15 days after improper service. A 15-day compliance deadline is unreasonable and is overburdensome for District Attorney Fani T. Willis to prepare to give sworn testimony. Number 4, the subpoena of deposition is unlimited in scope, is overbroad, and should be squashed. One-page notice of deposition failed to state how the oral testimony will be recorded, written, or transcribed. It does not provide a list of documents, evidence, or information requested from Fani T. Willis. As a result, it is not reasonable calculated to lead the district attorney or her counsel to know what information is being sought. This overbroad notice of deposition is nothing more than a fishing exposition designed to vex its recipient. Based on the foregoing non-party deponent, respectively request that this court's assistant in entering an order granting her motion of protective order. Wherefore, petitioner prays that A, this court grants a protective order squashing the attached subpoena for deposition. B, non-party deposition be awarded attorney's fees and expenses incurred in preparing, filing, and litigating this response. C, in the alternate, that non-party deponent be given 180 days to complete a review of the filing in the instance case, investigate and depose relevant witnesses with regards to the interference and obstruction motion this motion contends. D, barring a protective order squashing the subpoena for deposition, this court should 1, order defendant Joycelyn Wade to provide a scope of information sought in the deposition. 2, order defendant Joycelyn Wade to require state the method of deposition they are requesting to perform. 3, order the defendant Joycelyn Wade to require to use a reasonable means other than deposition in retrieving the information she is seeking. E, non-party deposition be awarded any other and further relief as the court deem appropriate, the 17th day of January 2024. All right, that's it, y'all. This is the stuff here right here. This is her. All right. All right, guys, that's it for now. I'm tired of reading. I'm tired. Y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and her little thing. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Okay. As far as the case with Lucci, I'm going to give you guys how many jurors they have selected right now. They have selected a total of 31 qualified jurors. They had 31 qualified jurors. They need 48 or 49. So they don't have much to go, y'all. They only got about 2 more weeks. The jurors are calling now to see when they come in. Let's clear my throat. Jerome, you crazy. So 31 qualified jurors have been seated. It was 5 today, 4 yesterday. And so it's a total of 31 jurors. They only need 48 more. So that's about, they only need a total of 48. So that's about what? 17 more, if I'm not mistaken with my adding. 31 plus 7. Yeah. 17 more. Yeah. So they rock and rolling. They keep going. Boom, 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 boom. They could have got, because remember the other day when I was there? They could have got those 13 people, but, they threw them all out. So 17. How long this trial is expected? They said about 2 months, 2.5 months the most, this next trial. Hi, good people. I hope you guys enjoyed this this breakdown, this wonderful trivia. I thank you guys for hitting the like button. I thank you guys for just being here. Why do we need so many? Because they get 13 strikes each, I think, right? Each side get 13 strikes. Originally they get 9 strike each, but they get 13. Yeah, it's 9 plus 3. That's 12. 12 side strike. They get 12 strikes each. So they have to have enough people, and then they have 4 alternates. So you have to have strikes for those alternate too. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like to support this channel, you can do so by any means, Cash App, Super Chat, whatever way you want to do it. Okay? My throat's itching, y'all. I gotta go. My allergy's starting to act up. I've been on here too long. Because my water. Hold on a second. Okay, that felt good. I had to get the scratchy throat. No carbs, just meat and vegetable. Okay, Leah. I think I messed up. Let me tell you what I had today earlier. I had protein. But I did. Yeah. I'm going to go eat some berries. Okay, I'm going to go make some. I'm going to do a smoothie. That's smoothie. I'm going to do a smoothie, Leah. All right, guys. See you guys later. Love you guys. Bye. Bye, darlings. See you later. Love y'all. Bye. Here's some church music. Here we go.